Welcome to Pastor's Chat today. Well, before we move on into Luke chapter 12, I'm excited to make an announcement about an upcoming tour that my son Jonathan, who is the president of Global Partners in Peace and Development, and I will be making this fall, October the 14th through the 25th, 11-day trip back to Jordan and Egypt. Jordan and Egypt, an unforgettable journey through the land where Moses led the people of Israel, where Jacob wrestled with God, where God's ancient power was made manifest in the land of Egypt in the 10 plagues that took place. There we will have a time of study in the Bible. The Bible will come alive, and we will experience some wonderful time learning more about our great and awesome God and how He took care of His people as they walked through the wilderness. We'll visit places like the Jordan River, and there we'll have a baptism. We'll also go to Petra, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Many wonderful places that we'll visit in Egypt, the Sphinx, of course, the pyramids, and so many things there that will remind us of God's marvelous power and His great. I hope you'll think about it, and you can get more information as you look at this post that we'll have alongside the video. So God bless you. I just want to invite you, October the 14th through the 25th, a great, awesome time to deepen your faith in God and in His Word. Well, in Luke chapter 12, you actually remember I didn't really finish Luke chapter 11, because in Luke chapter 11, the last 2 verses after Jesus gave His scouring, His scathing word of rebuke to the Pharisees, and as He said these things to them, the scribes and the Pharisees began to assail Him vehemently and to examine him about many things. So after He kind of just exposed their hypocrisy, exposed them with the 6 woes, the lawyers and the Pharisees, they attacked Him vehemently. I mean, they did everything they could to trick Him into saying something or making Him mad or acting in a way that would not be like the Christ He was. And so they attacked Him. And then verse 54, lying in wait for Him and seeking to catch Him in something He might say that they might accuse Him. That's the last 2 verses of chapter 11. And then chapter 12 begins, in the meantime, when an innumerable multitude of people had gathered together so that they trampled one another, He began to say to His disciples, first of all, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. Now you got to get this picture. We're not sure exactly where the Lord was. According to chapter 9, He had set His face to go to Jerusalem. So He is possibly somewhere between the region of Galilee and the city of Jerusalem. He goes into a Pharisee's house where the previous verses take place, and now outside the house the crowd is trampling. They've heard the commotion, they've heard the noise, they've heard the Pharisees shouting and screaming at Jesus, and the crowd gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Innumerable, it says innumerable multitude of people gathered there. What's going on? What's happening? And of course many of them believe that Jesus is doing miracles, and they're there out of curiosity. They want to see another miracle. And now this confrontation, hey, there's a big fight going on, come on. Well, you can just imagine. And so Jesus at that point says to His disciples, first of all, He turns to His disciples. Now it's interesting because He's just warned the Pharisees and the Sadducees and exposed their hypocrisy. And then He turns to His disciples. Now listen, the religious crowd needs to be told you're a bunch of hypocrites sometimes, and the politicians need to be told, and the lawyers need to be, you're a bunch of hypocrites. We need to get the religious hypocrites out of the pulpits. But then He turned to His disciples, His followers, and He said to them, beware of the leaven of the Pharisees, which is hypocrisy. And we'll be talking more about that. And He's basically saying, hey, you need this message also, because if you're not careful, even as a follower of Jesus Christ, you can start pretending to be something that you're not. And He says, beware. Now listen, that means take heed. Be warned. And that's what He's saying to His disciples who are following Him. So God bless you today. I hope you'll be able to go with us on the trip to Jordan and to Egypt this fall. God bless and have a wonderful, wonderful day.